team hazard. Okay, so shall we start from the beginning?
Sure.
Okay. Last Saturday, we knew we needed to leave because of our visas, leave Senegal because of our visas. So we had it all planned out. Mm-hmm. Several days ahead, I went and got the bus tickets to go from Dakar in Senegal to the Gambia. Right. My understanding was that it was supposed to be about a 5 to 6 hour trip with going through the border and everything. Yeah, that didn't.
And then it grew.
Yes. So I go on Saturday and I get the taxi ride over there, and I get our names signed up. First one's on the list and everything. And so that all was good. That went fine.
You got the taxi ride over there. You forgot you read it wrong. It was the taxidermy ride.
Yes. But then I arranged with that taxi driver to pick us up because we had to come back on Tuesday at 5 a.m. to get our tickets, to confirm our tickets, and then the bus was going to leave at 7 a.m. So we had to be at the bus station at 5 a.m. So I arranged with that taxi driver, who spoke some English, to pick us up at like 4:30 to get over to the bus station. So the night before, he calls us about 9 o'clock. I had called him about 4 in the afternoon and confirmed with him on Monday. And then he calls us about 9 o'clock on Monday night, and says, "I'm not going to do it. My friend is going to do it. He'll pick you up." And there's some broken language there, et cetera, between that and some texting. Then he's like, "Call my friend after 3:30 and he'll come pick you up." Well, oh gosh. It's like too late to try and find another driver. And it's like 3:30, call him after 3:30. That sounds like we're giving him a wake-up call. I was so afraid we were giving him a wake-up call. And he was just going to crawl out of bed and hopefully make it over to us in some reasonable time. Turned out he was a good driver. He did show up promptly on time, had a little trouble finding the place, but all in all, he got us there, no problem. Then we get there and find out that the list we signed up on, that we were on the top of the list, well, somehow that wasn't the master list. So there were a whole bunch of other people on the list ahead of us. And I brought that up, and he's like, "Oh, no, this is my book. I keep it with me all the time," but they transfer the names or something. I didn't see our names on the list anywhere. But they knew we had been there, so we got our tickets. They even let us choose special seats so we could make it easier for Tim. So that was nice. Sounds good, right? All going fine. We got on the bus. We fell asleep. By the time it started, it was like 10 to 8. Still, we should be in the Gambia by 5, 6 o'clock at the latest. Stop for the rest stop, which, went fine. We already know at rest stops that they only give you like 15 to 20 minutes.
And they put the bathroom like 800 miles away
from the bus, yeah. So I get him over, and we use the facilities, but we had brought our lunch, so we're ahead. See, we really planned this out to be an easy, good, smooth trip. We did everything we could to make this easy. We went ahead of time. We got our food ahead of time, our drinks. We were all set. And then we get between this town called Kaolack and Karang, which is the border town. There's a little village called Sakone. Well, that is where the fan belt on the bus broke. And if you saw the last live, you'll see us actually having broadcast from there. So it's not just an hour. They're not just sending back to Kaolack for a mechanic and a fan belt. It took them about 2 to 3 hours of us sitting there in 100-degree heat, waiting for a replacement bus.
Without an engine.
Yeah, no engine to keep like the AC running for us or anything like that. And then everyone gets on, and it sort of ignores that assigned seating that we had worked so hard to get. And so I sort of had to boot someone out of the seat that we needed for Tim, so that he didn't have to walk through the whole mess of people to the middle of the bus or some crazy thing like that.
You should have seen them. They flew and they flew like wild chickens.
But so we're finally on the road again. Yes. Hours and hours late. Tossing people off like wild chickens. No, they were actually very understanding when I explained the situation. And we're finally on the road again, and then we get to the border, and you got to get to a whole bus full of people through the border. Everyone has different situations. We already had our visa. This is how organized we were. We had our lunch, we had our visa, we had everything that could slow us down. We were not going to be the cause of slowdown, you know.
We weren't.
Yeah, and we made it through golden. I got through. I went and got some money exchanged at the border. And what was funny is on the way back to the bus, I had to like walk through a herd of goats to get back to the bus.
Yeah.
And sometimes goats can be a little aggressive. So I was pleasantly surprised when they were the ones that moved out of my way instead of me having to move out of theirs. Sometimes not aggressive, cantankerous. Let's call it cantankerous. So we all get back on the bus, and then we got through the border, and then we get into this town that's really small. It's like Amidala or something like that. It's where the ferry is. It's actually Barra is where the ferry is. And our bus is making this maneuver to get around something, and this idiot of a minivan driver, minivan being a minivan that transports, 15, 20 people at a time, not like a mom minivan or anything like that. These are full transport things, but he makes this stupid maneuver and he hits our bus. And so now the police get involved, and it's another 45 minutes of waiting around for the police to finish their business. And of course, this whole time we don't know where the ferry is, because if you miss the ferry's got to go all the way across and all the way back, which is like a 2-hour wait. And so, we're sitting there and trying to get to the ferry, and this happens. And then finally we get over to the ferry, and man, I got to give creds to our bus driver, because we got in the line. And so the fact that there was a line at least was a good sign that the ferry actually had been out for a while. But when the ferry came in, he got us in and maneuvered. There was no way he was going to let us miss that ferry. After everything that had happened, he was determined we were going to get on that ferry at that time, and I give him credit for that.
Yeah.
Give him major credit for that. He was just not going to let us sit another 2 hours.
Drive, baby, drive.
But by the time we got off the ferry to the bus station, into the Gambia proper, and then got the taxi ride to the hotel, which was a little challenging to find because the guy didn't believe Google Maps. He didn't believe me in Google Maps. He kept stopping and asking people along the way who kept telling him to go the direction I had told him to go.
Of course.
Time and again.
Taxi drivers never believe you in Google Maps.
Yeah. And seriously, he asked like 4 or 5 people in the time I was saying, no, it's a few blocks further down. So, But we finally made it. And so we finally made it to the Gambia, exhausted, tired, sweaty, hungry, thirsty. We were a mess, just a total mess. And we get here and we get to Dabo House, and it's in a town called Brufut. And
not to be confused with fufu.
Yeah, it's not fufu, Brufut. But we get to Dabo House, and they took such good care of us. They got us upstairs, and Tim was exhausted. We were both exhausted, but Tim going upstairs in the dark. Our whole point for leaving super early was so we wouldn't be arriving in the dark, by the way. And of course, it's dark. And so Tim's going up the stairs in the dark, and so he wouldn't have to go back down again. They actually brought a table up here. We have a nice little veranda here. So they put a table over there for that evening. And they made us dinner. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and they made us dinner. And they got us, big bottles of water and drinks, and just totally took care of us. And the room is gorgeous. It's clean. It's got both a fan and an air conditioner in it. It's got screens on the window, which is rarer than you might think here.
Yes.
And oh gosh, let me show you the rest of this place though, because it's hot right now, so there's no one around. Everyone's like inside hiding somewhere. We had a power outage before, but I think it's back on, so everyone's probably inside with fans and air conditioning. But this is we've got a nice pool. You got the dining area over there. We're only 1 floor up. Over there, they put up a TV at night, and you can sit around and watch football or movies or whatever's going on. And we just have this nice little compound, and it's just a total oasis. And it is absolutely comfy. And let me show you. I'll show you Tim. We have this wonderful couch and chair. We have this wonderful, do that thumbs up again, Tim. We have this wonderful couch and chair out on the veranda, and it can use it any time of day or night because of the temperatures the way they are here. And we are golden now, you know. Yesterday I went out and got a SIM card. That's why I can do this, because I couldn't have done this yesterday. The Wi-Fi is not strong enough. Plus I will say, there are constant power outages off and on kind of all day.
It's, we've had like 6 of them.
Yeah, something like 6 of
Since
them.
arriving.
Yeah. And they have a generator on order, and it's on a boat, on a container, and it should be here any day. So that'll help when the generator shows up.
It's kind of funny. It's coming from Sweden.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I'm used to, he says it's a Honda. It's like, wait a minute, Honda? Sweden? But then I remember that Honda is not American either.
No.
So I deliver it there.
Yeah, but so things are good now. But yesterday we were so exhausted. Tim slept the whole day. I did the 1 or 2 errands I did on Red Bull, and managed to stay awake for the afternoon. I still took a nap in the afternoon. And today we are actually feeling human and decent again, but we're still taking it easy. And then we're going to go out and explore, or have djembe lessons tomorrow, or go to a national park, or go to the beach. We're going to go do something tomorrow.
Right.
Something of interest, and we'll, if we have connection, we will bring you along too.
Yeah.
So this is our check-in. Sometimes travel goes well, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't go well, and then it ends well.
Yes.
And that's the way this one went.
All's well that ends well.
At least we survived.
Yes.
So I'm going to link to the first part of this when I was a little more optimistic about the car repair. So watch this video next if you haven't watched it already. If not, you can check out our whole diary of Senegal travels and see all the ups and downs of our travels. Mm-hmm. And keep an eye out for more, because we're going to be on all sorts of adventures.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.